These are people who experienced near-death experiences and came back, and depending on where they lived, they saw completely different things. In the West, you float through a dark tunnel toward a brilliant light. In Japan, you walk toward a river lined with flowers. Same death, different doorway. And that difference might tell us something profound about what's actually happening when we die. Back in 1975, Raymond Moody published Life After Life, coining the term near-death experience. The book sold over 13 million copies, famously endorsed by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, author of On Death and Dying, and established what most of us now consider the classic NDE. You know the template. Peace. Floating outside your body, a tunnel, warm light, deceased loved ones, a life review. That template became gospel. But here's the thing. Moody was interviewing Americans. When researchers finally studied Japanese NDEs, the tunnel vanished. In a study of 22 Japanese experiencers, more than half described rivers and flowers, not tunnels, not a being of light reaching out to embrace them, rivers. This wasn't random either. It maps directly onto one of the most deeply embedded myths in Japanese culture, the Sanzu River, the River of Three Crossings. In Japanese Buddhist tradition, the dead must cross this river to reach the afterlife. How you cross depends on how you lived. The virtuous walk over a bridge. The average wade through a ford. The wicked swim through deep, snake-infested waters. A demon named Datsueba waits at the bank to strip your clothes and weigh your sins. Jizo Bosatsu, the compassionate bodhisattva, is said to guide souls across these treacherous waters. This isn't ancient history. To this day, Japanese funerals place 6 coins in the casket so the deceased can pay the toll. Monks at Enryakuji Temple carry 6 coins in their hats during 7-year pilgrimages in case they die on the journey. If you've seen Spirited Away, the protagonist, crossing from the human world into the spirit realm, represents this exact mythology. So, when Japanese people briefly die and come back, they see the river their culture prepared them to see. Meanwhile, researcher Alan Kelleher from the University of Bath argued that the tunnel experience and life review are culture-bound phenomena, appearing mainly in societies dominated by Western religions. Thai NDEs, no tunnels either, and that being of light Westerners often identify as God or Christ. Japanese experiencers see light too, but they don't personify it. They don't feel it communicating with them. They don't describe being overwhelmed by love from it. These cultural variations aren't unique to modern times. Ancient mythologies describe similar crossing narratives. The Greeks had their river Styx. Hindus speak of the Vaitarani River. Each culture developed its own map to the afterlife. Some scientists point out that tunnel vision is a documented symptom of oxygen deprivation to the retina. As the eye loses oxygen, peripheral vision collapses and only the center remains, creating exactly the tunnel effect NDE survivors describe. That's a biological explanation. But it doesn't explain why Japanese people skip the tunnel entirely and go straight to a river. Modern studies, including Pim van Lommel's landmark research in The Lancet, continue to examine these phenomena through rigorous scientific methods, yet the cultural patterns persist. Gregory Shushin, writing through Oxford Academic, captured it perfectly. Near-death experiences share common elements worldwide, suggesting something independent of culture is happening, but they also contain elements unique to each culture, demonstrating what he called a symbiotic relationship between experience and belief. Something real might be happening during death, some genuine shift in consciousness, but the way your brain interprets and presents that experience gets filtered through everything you've ever known, every story you were told, every funeral you attended, every painting you saw. The Western Bible says God is light, so Westerners see a loving light. Japanese Buddhism says the dead cross a river, so the dying see water and flowers. Mount Asore, in northern Japan, a desolate volcano covered in bubbling pits and toxic vents, is considered one of the 3 holiest places in the country. Blind shamanesses called Itako communicate with the dead there. Beside a bridge over a stream, visitors can write letters to the deceased and send them to the other side. And yet, perhaps the most unsettling question isn't which culture got it right, it's whether the map and the territory are even separable. Think about it this way: a dream is not less real because it uses your memories. A hallucination is not less meaningful because it borrows from your fears. If something genuine is happening at the threshold of death, some actual dissolution of the self, some real transition in consciousness, why would it arrive naked and unannounced? Why wouldn't the mind clothe it in the only language it has ever known? There are researchers who take this further. Philosopher and consciousness scholar David Chalmers has argued for years that we don't actually understand what consciousness is, where it lives, or whether it's strictly biological. If he's right, then the question of what happens when the brain goes offline becomes genuinely open. And if it's genuinely open, then cultural filtering might be less about illusion and more about translation. Maybe dying is like receiving a signal no human antenna was ever built to receive, so your mind does the only thing it can. It reaches for the nearest myth. The nearest river. The nearest light. What strikes researchers most, though, isn't the differences. It's what stays the same. Across every culture, across every century, people who come back from the edge describe one thing consistently. They are no longer afraid. Japanese or American, Buddhist or Baptist, tunnel or river, they return transformed. Quieter. More deliberate. Unbothered by things that used to consume them. Whatever door they walked toward, something on the other side changed them, and maybe that's the only answer we're going to get. 50 years after Moody's book, we're still asking the same question. We just might be asking it in the wrong language.